The UFC is returning to Montreal, my hometown, La Belle Province, for the first time in 10 years. Last week, we had GSP on the show. Of course, no one carried this flag to high heights, to the highest of heights, like GSP did. He was the face of Canadian MMA. But for me, my introduction to the thought that a Canadian could actually do something in this sport, be successful, fight for a belt, be a worldwide global commodity, it was when I saw Montreal's own David the Crow Loiseau compete on the highest stage, that is the UFC. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, my first favorite fighter. I was aware of MMA, I was aware of the UFC, I watched it, but I didn't have like a guy. You know, we all have that guy, and we all have that first guy. He was my guy. Went to Dawson College, like a lot of my friends. I grew up very close to Dawson College. It was very relatable, very local, one of our own, like I say. And so with this big week in Montreal in the 514, I thought it would be great to reconnect with the Crow, David Loiseau, the man who fought Rich Franklin for the title at UFC 58 many moons ago. And there he is, the legend himself, David the Crow Loiseau, my guy. How are you, my friend?
Man. Ariel, thanks for having me, bro. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. It's a real great privilege, and it seems like you're doing great. Like life is good, everything going well in your life.
Hey, man, thank God. You know, I'm teaching. I found my calling. You know, helping others, motivating others. It's a fantastic journey, man. I'm teaching every day. I train every day. I got some projects going on. Finishing up a book.
Wow.
Yeah, a self-help book. You're the first one ever that hears about this. Yeah, man, I'm just finishing up some stuff, and yeah, I love the journey, man. I love the journey.
This is great. Where are we right now? What's the name of this place that you're in?
This place is called the Crow Training Center. Crow Training Center
in Montreal.
Yes. This is my gym. I opened my gym in 2014, end of 14, 15. And yeah, it's been 10 years, about 10 years. Yeah, man.
And the type of people that you're working with, are they regular Joe Schmoes like me, or is it a fight team where you're trying to develop the next UFC stars?
Regular Joe Schmoes, and I have I train pro fighters too. Sometimes they come around, but I don't have one fighter that I train, you know, that I'm trying to build or anything like that. But I'll work with anybody. Kids, I have a big kids program. I do self-defense for women, cardio boxing, Muay Thai. I got a good thing going on here. And I'm very happy.
Regarding the book, so you say it's a self-help book, not about your career necessarily, but more like motivational?
Motivational is like, you know, over the years, you know, like I gathered a lot of information from different coaches, mentors, and psychologists, sports psychologists. So I just put everything in like a toolbox to give out, to help people out, you know, people that deal with anxiety and pressure and all that stuff. And I think it's a great thing to do, because I have so much knowledge, so much experience in the real world, in real life situations that cause me anxiety. So yeah, I found ways to deal with it, and now I want to share it.
Did you deal with that as a fighter?
As a fighter, of course, absolutely. You know, I was an anxious person before fighting. You know what I mean? But martial arts helped me a lot. It helped me a lot to calm it down. But yeah, I've dealt with it 100%. I think most fighters deal with it, but some guys are better at dealing with it than others. You know what I mean?
We just had Brian Stan on earlier, and he was talking about how, and GSP has talked to me about this, how he would get sick before his fights. He would get so nervous he would throw up. And then on the other side of that, you'd have someone like John Jones, who he said looked like a guy who was going to play like in a high school basketball game. He was so calm, cool, and collected. Where were you on that spectrum? Were you more like GSP or more like John?
Oh, I was like George.
Okay.
Man, I don't know if you heard about this story. George and I, before he fought Thomas Denny and I fought Tony Strickland, it was UCC in Montreal, Canada. I think it was 2001 or 2002. And we do the weigh-ins. Me and George were like this before. Like, we were very tight. And then after the weigh-ins, we go eat. We go to a restaurant on Sherbrooke Street. You know Montreal, right?
Of course.
Sherbrooke Street and VO, called Benihana.
Ah, I
a
love it.
Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Japanese restaurant. So after the weigh-ins, it's just me and him, and then we both almost have tears in our eyes. We're like, "Yo, man, this is too much pressure." Like forget about this, man. Like let's just do this fight. Then we retire. Then I was gonna go back to school. He was gonna go back. I think he was gonna go back to school as well, or just work. And then yeah, man, let's just do that fight, and then forget about it. We're done with that. It's too much pressure, and we're not making money. What the hell is this? So we finished the fight. Boom! I finished Tony Strickland. He finishes Thomas Denny. So I see him in the locker room. I come back. I'm like, yeah, who's next? Who wants some? Who's? And from there, we just went on to do big things in the sport. You know what I mean?
That's amazing because the spotlight and the platforms only got bigger from there. And so if you were feeling like that fighting for UCC, how did you deal with it when you were fighting for the belt, fighting for the UFC?
I got better and better at dealing with it. That's the thing. I got tools. I was provided with tools to deal with it. Psychologists. I read books. You know what I'm saying? So it's a learning process. It's just like training the body. You learn to train the mind. But obviously, it didn't always work. These techniques and all these things. But I was always able to go forward and fight. I never pulled out of a fight. You never heard, David, he pulled out last minute. I've walked into the cage not 100%, and physically and mentally, but I never back down. I always walk forward. I always walk the walk, no matter what. You can't. That's one thing you can say about David Loiseau. I may have had some terrible performances, but I always walk the walk. I never backed out.
Love that. What is the vibe in the city right now? The UFC's return, first time in 10 years. Does it feel like the UFC is in town? Does it feel as big as it did back in the day?
It feels like the UFC's in town. Yes. But as big as back in the day, like when GSP wasn't on the card, no, it's not the same.
No,
it's not the same. George brought something special. When George fought, it was special, man. The fans, the vibe, the energy. I remember when George rematched Matt Serra, they were screaming, they were chanting GSP in the prelims.
Yeah.
From the prelims till the main event, GSP. It was great, man. Great vibes. But I'm just glad the sport is back here because, you need something for these up and comers to look up to. Like they got to see the dream. They got to see it live. I want these up and coming fighters in Montreal to go to the venue and see the UFC themselves. That wow, I could do this one day. You know what I mean? Because it's possible. It's possible. It's just that right now, obviously, there's not that much of a platform for the local fighters to. There is one. There's Samurai MMA, but I want something bigger for them. I want something better, something to help them out because there's no stars. We don't have stars. TKO built stars.
Yes,
they built Loiseau, Cote, GSP, and then from after that, a lot of guys came afterwards. Valérie Letourneau.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it started. That's one thing with that TKO did. TKO and UCC, they built Canadian stars.
Even the likes of Cyril Gane went to fight for TKO.
Absolutely.
Not just Canadian. So why do you think that is? Even throughout Canada, there was once a time, there was Maximum Fighting Championship, there was Score Fighting Series. Why are there none of these promotions throughout Canada anymore, in your opinion?
I have no idea. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe it's the money. Maybe there's not enough money in the sport. There's not enough support, or I have no idea. I'm not involved in the sport like I was before. Before I used to eat, sleep MMA. That's all I did. But now I'm just focusing on martial arts, teaching martial arts, my side projects here and there. I have Crow Talk. You can see here.
Yeah.
Crow Talk. Yeah. Check it out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Crow Talk, man.
That's your
Maybe
podcast?
I can have you on there. Yeah, that's my podcast. Yes.
Now
Absolutely.
you were doing one with Patrick Cote. This is your own.
Yeah. That's my own little thing. That's my little thing.
I like it.
Yeah. Man, some people hating on me on there because I said that John Jones was the GOAT. hating on me, yo. Like
Wow.
I said, John Jones not number one. He's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like RS1 said.
So they're
And they
hating on you.
hated.
Why?
Oh my
Why? Is
God.
it because they're GSP fans and they think he should be the GOAT?
No. Because they were comparing him. I was comparing him to Tom Aspinall. And, the Tom Aspinall fans got real upset.
Now, why? So I wouldn't be surprised if you would have said GSP is the GOAT. Why is John above him?
No. Right, I'm just saying right now.
Okay,
right
but I'm
now,
saying greatest of all time. Who's the greatest of all time?
To me, to be honest, 100%, George St. Pierre is number one.
All right. Yeah,
George St. Pierre is number one. Yeah. But I'm talking about like right now.
Who's the best?
Who's the best right now? Who's the best right now? It's John Jones. It's not even close.
You think he beats Tom?
Absolutely.
Well, that easily?
John Jones will always find a way to win.
Even at his age.
Mark my words.
Father Time.
Mark my words. John Jones will find a way to win. He's man. He's not only super smart, athletic. He's got heart. He's got all the skills. He's got Greg Jackson with him. He's got a solid team. He's got these masterminds with him. John Jones is not stupid. John Jones is taking his time before stepping in there with Aspinall because he's analyzing, he's studying, he's doing his homework. John Jones is a bad man. He's a bad man. But he's smart. He's smart. He's not going to go out there and just please the crowd and okay. They want me to find him in June. Okay, I'll find it. No. This is warfare. This is war. Everything is calculated. That's why he became the champ and stayed the champ.
If you were him, would you take this fight, or does the risk outweigh the reward?
I would take my time. I would do what he's doing. Take your time, John. Take your time. Just do your thing. Just do your thing, man.
You think he ends up taking it?
I think so. I think so. And if he doesn't, so what? He's still the best. He's still the man. He won light heavyweight champ. Defended. Went up in weight. Went up to heavyweight. Beat Cyril Gane like very easily. Listen, man. I think he's the one. I think he's the man.
You trained with him, right?
I've trained with him when he was young. Like I think he had one UFC fight. And you know what, man? You can ask him. Like I showed him back in the day. I showed him the spinning back kick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him giving you props recently.
Yeah. John Jones is the man. He's a guy that doesn't forget. A lot of people forget, but he doesn't. He'll shout me out sometimes and give me my props, man. He's a great dude.
In my opinion, still to this day, maybe I'm a little biased, but honestly, I don't think the spinning back kick, the flying knee finish against Charles McCarthy is one of the greatest finishing sequences in UFC history. And I was showing it to the guys, some of the newer fans here that work on the show. It was magic. It was absolute magic. If you've never seen it, please go out there, do yourself a favor. It's on YouTube. Do you get there's so many new fans who, let's be honest, they weren't watching back then. Does that bother you? Does it bother you that they don't know what you did, that they don't know what you're about?
Hey, there's one of the comments on the John Jones thing that I said that he's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Some guy said, "Oh, this guy's a casual." And some people call me casual. I'm like, "Oh man, are you crazy?" And then I replied, "Yeah, I casually headlined the UFC 2 times."
That is crazy. Does it bother you?
No, I mean it is what it is, bro. I'm from the old school, bro. I'm from the old school. It's I wish more people knew about me, but yeah, man, I did what I did, bro. I'm just grateful for the journey, for the opportunity that UFC gave me. I gave my best. I did not always deliver. But man, I did my best, and I came from far, Ariel. I came from far, man. I had some stuff that happened to me when I was younger, man. If you would put yourself in my shoes, you'd be like, "Yo, just making it to the UFC, enough. What a blessing! What a blessing."
Since you brought it up, can I ask what are you referring to?
Oh, I got into a very, very serious car accident when I was 18 years old in 1998. I don't know if you can see it here.
Oh
I have a
yeah.
scar on my neck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They took a part of my hip bone. I fractured my spinal cord. It was C5, C7, and man, I was out unconscious for like 2 hours, 3 hours. It was bad, man. It was bad. I had to rebuild for real. Like a lot of people, they lose a fight. They're like, yeah, you got. Let's go back to the drawing board. Yeah, I had to go to the back to the drawing board of life. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? I had to, yeah, and that caused, man, so much just random panic attacks, and because I was sleeping in the car, and then the driver was speeding, and then lost control of the car. Then the car started flipping over, and then I just woke up in the ambulance. You know what I
Wow.
mean? I woke up in the ambulance. So imagine, like going through that experience, and then you wake up in the ambulance. So obviously you're gonna be it's gonna be hard for you to trust people, to trust life, you're gonna be a little paranoid, and that's why you don't judge others, man. Like, you don't know what people go through. Everybody's in the middle of a war. Be kind. You know what I'm saying? But I was blessed. I was blessed. I survived. I was able to rebuild and become a UFC fighter, a professional UFC fighter. I was able to keep going and keep living my dream, which was to become a pro fighter
Mm.
since I was young, right? So yeah, man, it was tough. It was tough to rebuild. I have like a big plate and 4 screws in my neck. When it gets very humid, it hurts. When it gets very cold, it hurts. It's for years until a few years ago. I would wake up in the middle of the night and like dreaming of the accident.
Wow.
And we're talking about 1998.
Yeah.
1998. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's tough to deal with. But man, that's why I gathered so much information I want to share with people. You know what I mean? Like, I want to share with others, because if I could overcome, and find ways to cope with anxiety, I believe anybody could do it.
By the way, all these years I've known of you and known you, I never knew that you overcame that.
Yeah, I'm very, very private, man. I'm very private. Like if you see my Instagram, it's me at the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
Me, I don't post personal stuff. I don't. I'm very private. I'm a private person, and to be honest, the reason why I'm sharing it with you, I'm sharing this story with others, is because I know people are going through a lot of stuff since the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so I know that I could help, because I've had talks with some students, and I've helped out a lot of people. A lot of people that I've helped out, that I mentored, told me, David, you have to write a book. You have to share this. You're changing my life. You're changing my life. I was down and out, and you brought me back up. So eventually I said, okay. I started taking notes and then writing a little bit here, a little bit there, and yeah. It's my calling. It's my calling to motivate, inspire others.
So what's going on here? What are you trying to fight Jean Pascal? What's happening here? I saw this on your. What's
Hey,
happening?
listen. I'm minding my own business. I'm with Pat Cote, my boy Pat Cote.
Yeah.
We're doing an interview promoting, the UFC in town, blah, blah, blah. We're at the 98.5 radio station. And then Jean Pascal calls. Yeah, I'm the king of Montreal. I'll take both of you
Wow.
in a boxing match, blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, Jean, Mickey Mouse Jean, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared. I'll fight you. But if we fight in boxing, will you give me a rematch in MMA? Oh, you see,
Yeah.
guys, David is scared. He's already talking about losing. Hey, listen, you're a boxing world champion. I haven't fought in 10 years. You think I'm a realistic guy. But I know for sure that in MMA, it's going to take one kick and you're going to go down. You're going to go down, Jean Pascal. You're going to go down.
Is there a beef there between you guys? Or was he just talking smack?
He's just talking, man. He's just talking.
You guys have kind of been talking about this for a while, right?
back in the day, we were going back and forth on Twitter, on X, a few times. It never manifested. But now this guy's, hey man, I was minding my own business. Like I didn't mention him once. Didn't mention him once. And then he comes out here. Hey, do you guys see Crota? You see
Yes,
that?
yes.
All right, cool. Yeah. So yeah, I was just minding my own business. And then he just comes at us. He came at me and Pat. I said, Pat, hold on a second. Hold on, Pat. Let me take care of this. Man. It's been a while. So yeah, I don't know if this fight's gonna happen. Listen, man, I'm 45. I haven't fought in a long time. I've been focusing on different things. I teach a lot. I teach jiu-jitsu every day. I boxing, and I teach women, kids, adults. I'm in the teaching business, and it's taking a lot of my time. So for me to accept a fight is going to have to be for a lot of money.
All right. Well, let's see. Are you going to be there on Saturday?
Yes, I will be there.
One thing that we were talking about earlier was I feel Montrealers, they like to support their own. They're very patriotic about Montrealers or Quebecois. Sometimes not so much with regards to Canadians. And there is Ayman Zahabi at the top of the bill, which I think is the fight that Montrealers are probably looking forward to the most.
Zahabi.
Do you remember him when he was, the little guy at the gym?
Of course. This guy, he's been around. He's been at the gym for a long time. Like I remember when I was preparing for my first UFC fight, he was in the gym. That's 2003.
Wow.
He's been in the gym for a long time. Like he turned pro later, but man, he knows what he's got to do. He knows what he's got to do to get this fight, to win this fight, and I believe he will.
You believe he beats Jose Aldo?
Yes. You know why?
Why?
Because he's got smart people around him. He's got Zahabi, he's got Danaher, he's got the right people. They're gonna approach this fight strategically. He's not gonna come out there and start swinging and no. He's gonna be very strategic, and I think he has what it takes to beat Aldo. I'm not saying that because listen, I don't train there anymore. I'm not affiliated with them anymore. I believe in my heart, and I really want him to win too. But I believe in my heart that he can. He has what it takes to beat Jose Aldo.
That'll be.
Hey, this is not prime.
Yeah.
Aldo either. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different Aldo. I believe it's a different fighter. He's a different fighter than he was, and I really believe Ayman has a chance. I think he's on a winning streak. Yeah, he is on a winning streak.
Yeah.
I think he's good.
Who do you like in the main event?
The main event is what's it?
Bilal Muhammad against Jack Della Maddalena.
Listen, I think I don't follow these guys enough. You know what I'm saying? Let me back out. Let me back out of this one. I'm not going to call because I don't know the guys. I haven't seen enough footage of both guys to say this guy or that guy is going to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. A lot of people do that. They'll be like, no. Because I know Bilal. I don't know Jack.
JDM.
So
all right.
Yeah, JDM. So I'm not going to call. I'm not going to call it.
That's fine. That's fair. You were so confident in your John Jones pick. I thought you were like Mr. Predictions now.
No. It's just some fighters I've studied. I've watched over and over. I watched their patterns, their how they fight, how they I just know John Jones could do it again. He could do it one more time, 100%.
And on Friday before the event, you, GSP, I think Patrick Cote, Valerie Letourneau, you're having a meet and greet, right?
Yeah, a meet and greet at Vogue Hotel. Is going to be at 5 p.m. And there's going to be this tickets are on sale. If you go on GSP's IG page, there's a link. Even on my page, actually, there's a link for tickets. If you're in town, come and meet us. It's going to be a special event. There's going to be T-shirts, the pictures that we're going to sign. Myself, Valérie Letourneau, Pat Cote, and Olivier Aubin-Mercier will be joining Georges Saint-Pierre for man. It's they call it a night of the legends or something like that. They're just giving props to the pioneers of MMA in Quebec and And I think it's important. It's important to recognize us and to give us props, because we paved the way.
Hell yeah.
I'm the first one. I paved the way. I'm the first one to fight in the UFC from Quebec. And I remember after my fight, that was 2003. It was in Miami, Florida, and I was like, right after the fight, no, the day after the fight, we're at the hotel, and then I saw Dana. Dana had hair back then. And hey, sir, thank you for having me. Hey, good job, kid. And then he said, I said, hey, listen, man, there's one guy that's gonna come up soon. His name is George. Look out for him. I remember saying that the day after my fight. Yeah, because I knew I was very close to George, and George was on a tear already. So it was just a matter of time.
I love those stories, man. Yeah, Mark Weir, way back in the day, UFC 42, I think it was, sudden impact.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to have you on. You're the trailblazer, you're the pioneer, and you deserve that recognition and those flowers as well. So I'm so happy to see that you are doing well, that you're thriving. Looking forward to the book. Can't wait to read that as well. And love the fact that you'll be there on Saturday, that you're doing the thing on Friday. You deserve to be front and center anytime the UFC comes back to Montreal. So thank you so much, David. Really great to have you on to catch up again, and wishing you all the best, my man.
Hey, thank you, my man. I appreciate it, Ariel. All the best. Thank you.
Always. There he is, the great David the Crow Loiseau, the very first Quebecois, Montrealer to fight in the UFC. UFC 42, sudden impact. Mark Weir, knockout in the first round, 355. That, by the way, was the last show in Miami before they came back all those years later when Izzy fought Alex Pereira.